welcome to my channel. This is Niomi's opinion, where I encourage you to become a better version of yourself, and together we can all grow. Now, in this video, I will be talking about how I personally deal with anxiety on a daily basis, and I'll be giving you 7 tips that you can use to implement as a part of your routine. Now, the first thing that I do is exercise. I've always made exercise a point, and the reason behind that is that it just helps me boost my mood and I feel better about myself. Obviously, I'm going to have more confidence and keep the weight off. But even besides the weight, I just overall felt like it relieved the stress from the week. So if you're not already exercising, that could be a reason why you have built up stress and anxiety. Secondly, you want to make sure that you are implementing a good diet. That could be making sure that you're eating the correct portion sizes. You're not overeating like on junk food, sugary snacks, fast food, or like fried chicken, pizza, soda, the whole. Some of us may have grown up eating those type of foods and maybe never learned other eating habits. It might be hard to transfer over to, adding fruits and vegetables and, drinking more water. That might be difficult at first, but once you start doing it, your body will thank you so much. And there's no way to have greater mental health than to take care of your actual physical body. What I would do is to research the food that you're actually eating on a daily basis and see how you can make an adjustment to that. The third thing I do is manage my social activities. What this looks like is limiting the amount of time that I spend on social media. Now, during the pandemic, that was pretty hard to do. Hopefully we don't go through another pandemic, but now since I learned things, over those almost 2 years, I'm not going back to, just twiddling my fingers and I don't know what to do with myself. So yeah, manage your social activities. Try to have in-person interactions. Find a hobby. Find something that you like to do. That way you're not sitting on social media for hours at a time. It always feels better when we are getting out the house and doing something else. Fourth thing I had to do was manage my sleep schedule. Now, there have been times where I would probably stay up to 2, sometimes even 4 o'clock in the morning, knowing I had to wake up at 6 or 7 o'clock. That's only a couple hours of sleep. That's not good. Obviously, I'm going to get sleep bags. Yeah, but overall, just getting a good sleep schedule will just make you feel better or boost your mood. And if your mood is boosted, then the less likely you're going to feel anxious about whatever the day has in store. Now, the fifth thing that I do is I had decided to find support. While I have friends and family that I can confide in, sometimes, what friends and family would do unconsciously, they can go to their partners or even to their other best friend and tell your business. What I did is find a counselor or a therapist for me to talk to, and then that way my business isn't out there. And the next thing that I do, which is number 6, I monitor my self-talk. So, sometimes we can tell ourselves that we can't do it, or maybe we are imagining the worst case scenario. What if I go out with this guy? What if he cheats on me? Or what if I go with this girl? What if they cheat on me? Or what if I get the job? What if I'm not good enough? Or what if I go working out? What if all these people are staring at me because they think I'm fat? Or if I'm doing the exercise wrong? All of these thoughts can overtake you, right? So you have to start being your own cheerleader. Give yourself pep talks before you even go out and go do something. If your thoughts are so invasive to the point that it's preventing you to do all the things that you want to do, that's part of that self-sabotage that I talked about in my last video. Also, if you're interested, I did leave the link in the description box down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And last but not least, number 7, relax. For me, that is listening to music. I might go drive around, go sightseeing, something just for me to clear my mind. You find a safe space and go to it often. Now, some of us weren't always taught about how to deal with anxiety or for stressful situations. Now, if you're having anxiety because maybe you have an exam or maybe you have to go speak in front of a bunch of people, what I would do, especially before exams, when I talk about getting enough sleep the night before, before. First off, you have to create a study schedule, okay? After work or school, make sure that you leave like a proper amount of time for you to study before you go to sleep. Make some little note cards, write it out, and then just go over them. Just keep going over and going over them and get sleep. Do not stay up late thinking that this is going to help you prepare for the test. It's not, because by the time you go to sleep, your mind doesn't have enough time to like sink in that energy for you to remember it. During your sleep, that's what happens. So, if you're looking to pass the test, you have to make sure that you are studying and giving yourself a proper amount of sleep, right? And then when you wake up, go over your cards again. If you had slept the night before, you had studied the night before, you are going to remember the answers on the test. And for speaking in person, what I have learned, if you watch other people, like let's say you did have to actually like make a presentation or something like that, like maybe for work or for school, you have to stand in front of like a bunch of people, even if the crowd might be small, like 5 or 10 people, this could still trigger like sense of like social anxiety. You just be like, stage fright, like what am I going to do? So before you do that, breathe, okay? And I will also practice watching other people speak. So for example, let's say first thing comes to mind is like a TED Talk. TED Talks, they get on stage, they start walking around. Watch the video without the sound and pay attention to like their body language, where their eyes are, and how they're engaging with the crowd. And then try to emulate that as yourself with whatever that you have to speak on. So, the same thing can go for creating a YouTube video. You're not shy when you have to call your friend and your face is all on the camera, like, you ain't even got your makeup done sometimes, but hey, we don't feel uncomfortable in front of that friend. So sometimes when you're out in that crowd, like try to think about, somebody that you love, like for example, like your best friend or like your mom, your dad, whoever that you love speaking to, that makes you feel comfortable in that time. And don't look people in the eyes. That's another thing. Don't look people in the eyes. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on like maybe how you overcome anxiety on a daily basis, or maybe even something that you would like to hear from me, make sure that you leave that in the comment below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with somebody that might need this advice. And I hope to see you next week.